What if I told you that the quality of your life is decided long before results show up? Not by luck, not by talent, but by what you choose to work on every single day. Most people want calm minds, strong character, and inner confidence. Yet they train none of it. They react, they scroll, they complain, and they wonder why life feels heavy. The Stoics saw this clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote that your mind becomes shaped by what you repeatedly focus on. In other words, your daily habits are quietly building the person you are becoming. Stoic philosophy is not about feeling good. It is about becoming resilient, disciplined, and unshakable under pressure. In this video, you will learn 10 things you must work on every day if you want real control over your life. Not theories, not motivation, daily inner training. Stay with me until the end. This is not entertainment, this is practice. Train deliberately. Begin today. 1. Your perception shapes your reality. Life challenges you every single day, often without warning or explanation, and most people believe these moments control their emotions and determine their worth. Stoic philosophy begins by rejecting that belief. It teaches that events themselves are neutral, and that suffering is created by the meanings you attach to them. This is why perception is the first inner skill you must train daily before strength, discipline, or confidence can exist. Each morning, your mind wakes ready to judge, categorize, and dramatize what happens next. A delayed message becomes rejection. A careless remark becomes disrespectful. When perception is left untrained, it quietly turns ordinary moments into emotional weight. The Stoics understood perception as an active force shaping experience. If you do not choose your interpretation consciously, habit and fear will choose it for you, without your consent every single day automatically. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to see people as confused rather than malicious, not to excuse harm, but to protect his own peace. That shift required daily repetition. Stoicism does not ask you to deny pain. It asks you to stop feeding it. By pausing before judgment and questioning the story you tell yourself, you create distance between stimulus and response. And in that distance, freedom quietly appears within your control. When perception is trained consistently, difficulties lose their emotional poison. Criticism becomes information rather than identity. Delay becomes patience, training rather than frustration. Rejection becomes redirection rather than humiliation. This transformation is subtle but cumulative. Over time, you react less, observe more, and conserve energy. Others waste on resistance. Your calm becomes noticeable, not because you withdraw from life, but because you stop fighting reality unnecessarily through disciplined awareness daily. Most people argue endlessly with what already is and exhaust themselves in the process. Stoicism teaches a quieter strength, cooperation with reality without surrendering values. When you master perception, discipline no longer feels like force. Action becomes precise instead of emotional. Hardship becomes instruction instead of punishment. This is why perception comes first. Return to this practice every day because how you see determines who you become over your lifetime. This daily work is not dramatic, but it is transformative. By refining perception, you reclaim authorship over your inner world. You stop outsourcing peace to circumstances and approval. Each clear interpretation strengthens your character quietly. Over months and years, this discipline compounds into steadiness under pressure and dignity under stress. Begin again each morning. Perception is the doorway through which every Stoic virtue must pass before meaningful action can follow. 2. Emotional control is real. Power, emotional control is not about suppressing what you feel. It is about refusing to let emotions dictate your behavior. Every day, something will try to provoke you. A careless word, an unfair situation, a moment of pressure. Most people react instantly and call it honesty, but Stoicism calls it surrender. The Stoics understood that the person who reacts without pause hands their power away. Epictetus taught that between what happens and how you respond, there is a moment where choice lives. That moment is small, but it is where character is built. When you fail to protect it, emotion becomes your master. Each day, you must practice the discipline of pause, not hours of meditation, just seconds of restraint. When anger rises, when anxiety tightens your chest, when frustration clouds your thinking, stop, breathe, observe what is happening inside you without obeying it. This pause interrupts the automatic cycle that keeps most people trapped. Emotional control does not make you cold, it makes you accurate. Instead of reacting from impulse, you respond from values. You choose words instead of blurting them. You choose silence instead of escalation. Over time, this creates a reputation for calm authority. People sense that you are not easily shaken, and they treat you differently because of it. This practice must be renewed daily. Emotions return like waves, not because you are weak, but because you are human. Stoicism does not demand perfection, it demands vigilance. Each controlled response strengthens your inner muscle. Each impulsive reaction weakens it. The direction compounds whether you notice it or not. When you master emotional control, pressure stops feeling like a threat. Stress becomes information. Conflict becomes manageable. You are no longer dragged by moods or manipulated by provocation. You act deliberately even when the situation is uncomfortable. That is freedom. This is why emotional control is real power. Not dominance over others, but command over yourself. Return to this work every day. Protect the pause. Your future self depends on it. Most people spend their lives apologizing for emotional reactions they could have prevented. Stoic practice teaches you to respect yourself enough to slow down. That respect changes how you speak, decide, and endure difficulty. Emotional mastery is not loud, dramatic, or visible in the moment. It reveals itself over time as consistency, reliability, and quiet confidence that cannot be shaken by chaos. This discipline turns ordinary days into training grounds where self-command replaces regret and steadiness replaces inner chaos completely. 3. Focus on what you can control. Most of your daily stress does not come from what is happening, but from what you are trying to control that was never yours. You worry about opinions, outcomes, timing, and other people's behavior. Stoic philosophy begins with a ruthless clarity. Some things are up to you, and most things are not. Confusing the two is the fastest way to exhaust your mind. Every day, your attention is pulled outward. News, conversations, expectations, and imagined futures demand your energy. When you try to control everything, you lose control of the only thing that truly matters, your own actions. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, and they treated it as a daily mental boundary, not an abstract idea. What you can control is simple, but not easy. You can control your judgments, your intentions, your effort, and your response. You cannot control results, recognition, or how others interpret you. When you accept this fully, anxiety begins to loosen its grip. You stop chasing certainty where none exists and start investing energy where it can actually change something. This practice requires daily honesty. Ask yourself, is this within my control, or am I trying to manage the uncontrollable? That single question can dissolve hours of unnecessary tension. It brings your focus back to the present moment, where meaningful action is still possible. Over time, this discipline reshapes your inner life. You become less reactive to noise and more anchored in purpose. Setbacks stop feeling like personal failures and start feeling like part of the process. You measure your days by effort and integrity, not by external validation. Most people live as if peace will arrive once everything aligns. Stoicism teaches the opposite. Peace arrives when you stop demanding alignment. By focusing on what you control, you regain stability even in uncertainty. You become dependable under pressure because your center is internal, not external. This is not resignation, it is precision. You conserve energy by refusing to waste it on what cannot be changed. That conserved energy becomes discipline, clarity, and quiet confidence. Return to this practice every day. Draw the line clearly between what is yours and what is not. On that line, true strength is built patiently and consistently. Each morning, recommit to this boundary. Write it down if needed. The world will keep pulling at you, but your task remains the same. Act well, choose wisely, and let outcomes unfold without clinging. Resentment or fear with patience and inner dignity. 4. Discipline over motivation. Motivation feels powerful, but it is unreliable. It comes and goes with mood, comfort, and circumstance. Most people wait to feel ready before they act, and in doing so, they surrender their progress to emotion. Stoic philosophy teaches a harder truth. Discipline must come before desire, not after it. Every day, there will be moments when you do not feel like showing up. Your body is tired, your mind looks for excuses, and comfort whispers that tomorrow will be easier. Discipline is the choice to act anyway. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he was rising to do the work of a human being, not because he felt inspired, but because it was his duty. This daily practice reshapes your identity. When you act without negotiating with your feelings, you build self-trust. You stop asking whether you are motivated and start asking whether the action aligns with your values. That shift replaces emotional volatility with inner reliability, something most people never experience. Discipline does not require dramatic effort. It requires consistency. Even on difficult days, you commit to a minimum standard of action. A short workout, a focused hour, a hard conversation done calmly. These small acts compound quietly. Over time, they create momentum that motivation alone can never sustain. Many people confuse discipline with punishment. Stoicism sees it as self-respect. You follow through because you value the kind of person you are becoming. Each disciplined action is a vote for that future self. Each avoided action is a vote against it. The choice repeats daily. When discipline becomes your anchor, external chaos loses its power. You do not need perfect conditions to move forward. You move forward because it is who you are. This is how confidence is built from the inside, not through affirmation, but through repeated proof. Return to discipline every day. Let motivation follow when it wants. Your life will change not when you feel ready, but when you decide to act with consistency, dignity, and quiet commitment regardless of comfort. Over years, this discipline reshapes destiny. It builds trust with yourself, which no external praise can replace. When life becomes difficult, you do not collapse into excuses. You rely on habits you have already proven. That reliability becomes calm strength. It allows you to endure pressure, resist distraction, and continue forward without drama, excuses, or dependence on fleeting emotional highs. Discipline is the quiet decision that keeps you standing long after motivation has disappeared completely in moments of hardship. 5. Voluntary discomfort builds inner strength. Comfort promises safety, but it quietly weakens you. When everything is easy, your mind forgets how to endure. Stoic philosophy teaches a counterintuitive practice. Choose small discomforts on purpose every day, so hardship never surprises you. Most people avoid discomfort instinctively. They seek warmth, ease, distraction, and reassurance. Over time, this avoidance shrinks their tolerance for stress. Minor inconvenience feels unbearable. Stoics trained the opposite response. They practiced voluntary discomfort to remind themselves that they could endure more than fear suggested. This daily practice is not about punishment or self-denial. It is about preparation. Seneca slept on hard floors and wore simple clothes to rehearse loss before it arrived. By doing so, he removed fear's power. When you willingly step into controlled discomfort, you teach your nervous system that unease is survivable. Each day, choose one small challenge. Take a cold shower. Walk when you could drive. Begin the difficult task without waiting for comfort. Speak the honest sentence you are tempted to avoid. These actions are quiet, but they sharpen your inner edge. Voluntary discomfort strengthens discipline and humility at the same time. You stop demanding perfect conditions. You realize that comfort is optional, but character is not. Over time, resilience replaces fragility. You become steadier when plans fail and calmer when pressure rises. This work must be gentle and consistent. Stoicism never glorifies harm. The goal is to stretch, not break. A little discomfort done daily builds immunity to fear. Avoidance done daily builds anxiety. The direction you choose compounds. When hardship arrives, and it always does, you are not shocked. You have trained for this moment in small ways. You trust yourself because you have practiced endurance intentionally. That trust becomes quiet confidence. Return to voluntary discomfort each day. Let it remind you that you are stronger than your cravings and more capable than your excuses. Comfort fades. Strength remains. In time, this discipline changes how you see the challenge itself. Difficulty no longer signals danger, it signals growth. You meet resistance with curiosity instead of panic. By choosing discomfort deliberately, you stop being ruled by it accidentally. Over many months, this habit reshapes identity at a deep level. You stop asking life to be easier and start asking yourself to be better. That shift restores dignity. You become harder to intimidate, slower to complain, and less dependent on external comfort for inner stability. It trains courage quietly until fear loses its authority and discomfort becomes familiar territory without drama or hesitation. 6. Guarding your attention shapes your mind. Every day, your attention is being claimed by something. Notifications, conversations, worries, entertainment, and endless information compete for your focus. Stoic philosophy teaches that attention is not neutral. What you repeatedly give your mind to becomes the shape of your inner world, whether you intend it or not. Most people live in a constant state of mental consumption. They scroll, listen, watch, and absorb without question. Over time, this creates a restless mind that cannot stay still, think deeply, or act with clarity. Marcus Aurelius warned that your mind takes on the color of your thoughts, and those thoughts are chosen by what you allow in. Guarding your attention is daily discipline. It begins with awareness. Ask yourself what you are feeding your mind each day. Is it noise, comparison, outrage, and distraction? Or is it clarity, learning, and reflection? This question alone can reveal why your inner state feels heavy or scattered. Stoicism does not demand withdrawal from the world. It demands selectivity. You learn to consume less, but with intention. You replace passive intake with deliberate input. Reading instead of scrolling. Thinking instead of reacting. Silence instead of constant stimulation. This shift restores mental strength slowly and quietly. Each day, practice one act of attention hygiene. Limit exposure to what agitates you. Reduce unnecessary noise. Create small spaces of stillness where your mind can reset. These moments are not empty. They are restorative. They return you to yourself. When attention is guarded, focus deepens. You become harder to manipulate and less reactive to trends, opinions, and emotional contagion. You begin to think independently again. That independence is a rare form of freedom in a distracted world. Over time, your inner dialogue changes. You stop rehearsing fears that were planted by constant exposure. You gain clarity about what truly matters. Decisions become easier because your mind is not overcrowded. This discipline compounds. A year of intentional attention reshapes how you see yourself and the world. You become calmer, more grounded, and less dependent on stimulation for meaning. Return to this practice daily. Protect your attention as you would protect your health or dignity. What you attend to becomes who you are. Stoicism asks you to choose wisely. In choosing carefully, you reclaim ownership of your thoughts, your emotions, and your direction. That ownership restores inner order. It allows wisdom to take root where noise once dominated, and it gives you the quiet strength to live deliberately rather than reactively, even when the world demands constant distraction from your deeper purpose. 7. Self-respect is built in small choices. Self-respect is not something you announce. It is something you practice. It is formed quietly in ordinary moments when no one is watching and nothing dramatic is at stake. Stoic philosophy teaches that who you become is shaped less by your intentions and more by the small choices you repeat every single day. Each day, you make silent promises to yourself. You promise to wake up when you said you would, to do the work you committed to speak honestly instead of conveniently. Every time you keep or break these promises, your mind is taking notes. Over time, it learns whether you are someone it can trust. Most people look for self-respect and confidence, success or recognition. Stoics looked for it in alignment. When your actions match your values, something settles inside you. You no longer need to convince yourself of your worth. You feel grounded because your behavior supports your identity. This practice is not about perfection. It is about consistency. You will fail sometimes. Stoicism does not ask you to punish yourself for that. It asks you to notice, correct, and return to the standard you chose. Each correction is an act of self-respect. When you honor yourself in small ways, your behavior changes naturally. You stop over-explaining. You stop tolerating what erodes your dignity. Boundaries become clearer, not harsher. You move with less inner conflict because you are no longer betraying yourself quietly. Self-respect also changes how you handle discomfort. You do not avoid difficult conversations or necessary effort just to feel good in the moment. You choose what preserves your integrity in the long term. That choice builds inner stability that cannot be shaken by opinion or pressure. Over time, this discipline compounds. You become reliable to yourself. Under stress, you trust your responses because you have practiced honesty and follow through daily. That trust creates calm. Calm creates clarity. Clarity strengthens character. Return to this work every day. Ask yourself whether your choices today honored the person you are becoming. When self-respect guides your actions, you stop chasing validation. You carry dignity with you quietly, steadily, without needing approval. This is how Stoics built unshakable character, not through grand gestures, but through loyalty to themselves in small moments. One decision at a time, you build a life that feels solid inside because it is supported by choices you can stand behind without regret or hesitation. 8. Reflection turns experience into wisdom. Reflection is the daily act of turning raw experience into understanding. Without reflection, life moves forward, but wisdom never catches up. Stoic philosophy treats reflection as an evening discipline, not a mood. At the end of each day, you pause to review how you lived. This is not self-criticism, but self-clarification. Seneca wrote that a day without reflection is a day stolen from yourself. When you reflect daily, mistakes become lessons instead of burdens. You stop repeating the same errors unconsciously. Each evening, ask yourself simple questions. Where did I act with clarity today? Where did emotion override reason? What can I do better tomorrow? These questions are not meant to punish you. They are meant to sharpen you. Reflection creates continuity between days. Without it, you live fragmented, reacting anew each morning. With it, your life becomes a coherent training process. This practice builds humility. You see where ego interfered and where courage was missing. That awareness prevents self-deception. Over time, reflection softens judgment and strengthens responsibility. You stop blaming circumstances and start refining yourself. Daily reflection also deepens gratitude. You notice what went right, not only what failed. This balances discipline with compassion. Return to reflection every night. Even 5 honest minutes are enough. In that quiet review, you reclaim authorship of your growth. Reflection turns living into learning and learning into wisdom. Through reflection, you slow time enough to understand yourself. It is the bridge between intention and transformation. When days pass without review, habits form blindly. Reflection interrupts that blindness. It reminds you that character is shaped deliberately. This practice strengthens patience. You learn to observe your own behavior without hostility. That distance creates honesty instead of denial. Over weeks, your inner dialogue matures. You stop exaggerating failure and inflating success. Balance replaces emotional extremes. Reflection also restores meaning to effort. You see how daily discipline connects to long-term purpose. This connection fuels quiet motivation. It keeps you steady when results are slow. By reviewing your days, you reclaim direction. You are no longer drifting, you are navigating. Make reflection a ritual, not an afterthought. Protect it from distraction and excuses. Consistency matters more than eloquence. Honest review builds lasting wisdom. Over time, this simple practice compounds, shaping judgment, deepening integrity, and aligning action with values until your life feels intentional rather than accidental, in quiet, steady, meaningful ways daily. 9. Detach from praise and criticism. Approval and criticism both carry a hidden danger. They pull your center of gravity outside yourself. When your mood rises with praise and collapses with judgment, your freedom is already gone. Stoic philosophy teaches emotional independence not as isolation, but as stability rooted in character rather than opinion. Most people say they do not care what others think, yet live in constant reaction to it. A compliment energizes them. A negative comment ruins their day. This dependence is subtle but powerful. It trains you to perform rather than to live according to values. The Stoics warned that a life measured by applause will always be fragile. Daily detachment begins with remembering what judgment truly is. Praise and criticism reveal more about the speaker than about your worth. They are interpretations, not verdicts. When you understand this, you stop handing strangers authority over your inner state. You listen without surrendering control. This practice requires honesty. Some feedback is useful. Stoicism does not promote arrogance or deafness. It teaches discernment. You separate information from emotional charge. You ask whether criticism points to a real correction or merely reflects preference, mood, or projection. Only the first deserves your attention. When you detach from praise, your actions become cleaner. You stop exaggerating, performing, or seeking approval through self-betrayal. When you detach from criticism, you stop shrinking, defending, or hardening unnecessarily. You remain open without becoming exposed. This balance is rare and powerful. Over time, emotional independence changes your posture in the world. You speak with less urgency. You decide with less anxiety. You do not rush to explain yourself. People sense this groundedness. Some will respect it, others will resist it. Neither reaction controls you. Return to this discipline every day. Measure yourself by effort, intention, and integrity rather than by reactions. Ask one question at night: did I act according to virtue, regardless of response? That question restores sovereignty. Detachment from praise and criticism does not make you cold. It makes you free. Free to grow honestly. Free to correct yourself without shame. Free to stand steady when opinions shift. This inner independence is a quiet strength that protects dignity, preserves clarity, and allows you to live by principle rather than popularity. It demands daily remembrance that worth is internal, not negotiated. Each morning you return to yourself. Each evening you release judgment. With repetition, this discipline builds steadiness under pressure and humility in success, allowing you to move through life anchored, composed, and free from noise, fear, and approval-seeking patterns. 10. Remembering mortality gives life. Wait, mortality is the Stoic practice most people avoid. Yet it is the one that clarifies everything else. When you forget that your time is limited, you postpone courage, honesty, and meaningful action. Stoicism asks you to remember death not morbidly, but precisely, so that life stops feeling endless and starts feeling urgent. This is not about fear, it is about focus. Memento mori was used by the Stoics as a daily grounding, a way to strip illusions and reveal what truly matters. When you remember that this day will not repeat, distractions lose their appeal and trivial worries shrink. You speak more honestly because you know postponement is a gamble. You act with intention because tomorrow is not guaranteed. This daily remembrance sharpens priorities without panic. It pulls you out of autopilot and into presence. Seneca advised rehearsing death not to darken life, but to free it from procrastination and fear. When you live as if time is abundant, you tolerate what should be confronted and delay what should be done. Remembering mortality dissolves that illusion. Each morning, remind yourself that this day is a gift, not a rehearsal. Ask how you would speak, choose, and act if time were truly precious. This question cuts through hesitation and fear faster than motivation ever could. Over time, this practice transforms your relationship with time itself. You waste less energy, hold fewer grudges, and invest more deeply in what aligns with your values. Mortality becomes not a threat, but a guide. Return to this remembrance every day. Let it sober you without paralyzing you. When you live with death in mind, you finally live on purpose. Stoicism uses mortality not to diminish joy, but to make it honest, grounded, and urgent. This awareness does not rush you, it steadies you. It reminds you that this moment matters because it will pass. Live accordingly and let each day carry the weight it deserves. When mortality is remembered, trivial conflicts fade and gratitude grows naturally. You forgive faster, choose presence over distraction, and stop postponing meaningful conversations. This practice returns dignity to ordinary hours by reminding you they are numbered. Nothing sharpens love, courage, and responsibility like knowing time is finite. Carry this awareness gently, not obsessively, and it will keep you awake to life. In doing so, you honor both your limits and your potential without denial. Mortality then becomes a quiet companion, guiding each choice with clarity and courage. Let it guide you daily, without fear entirely. Throughout this video, we explored 10 daily practices that sit at the core of Stoic philosophy. Not ideas to admire, but disciplines to live. From training your perception, mastering emotional control, and focusing only on what you can control, to choosing discipline over motivation, embracing voluntary discomfort, guarding your attention, building self-respect through small choices, reflecting daily, detaching from praise and criticism, and finally remembering your mortality. Each one points to the same truth. A strong life is built quietly, one day at a time. Stoicism is not about escaping life or numbing yourself to it. It is about showing up with clarity, steadiness, and dignity, no matter what the day brings. These practices do not demand perfection. They ask for consistency. Pick one area and begin today, then return tomorrow. Real change comes from repetition, not intensity. If this video resonated with you, don't just move on. Practice something you heard here. Apply it in a real moment, under real pressure. That is where Stoic philosophy becomes real. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate your attention and your willingness to think deeply about how you live. If you found value here, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this with someone who needs it. Until next time, train your mind daily, live with intention, and remember, strength is built quietly.